should have a song together. 4D and C-Mac.
That's not.
I think we should.
You could start it.
Call the Mac Daddies.
Return of the C-Mac.
The Mac Daddies.
We would call it anything but that.
What's happening on the screen right now?
Well,
The 4
right
Max.
now it's recording everything
I
you're
like the
saying
4
and doing.
Max.
Are you recording? You're recording?
I'm recording, man. We're live.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Sure?
I'm not offended in any
Turn it up a
way,
little bit?
but I'm in the
Everybody
dark.
right there at the line.
Like the light dark?
Yeah, that's okay with
All right,
everybody
team,
else.
let's do this.
Okay.
How are you?
Ken,
Yes, sir.
remember, a little less, yes, and laughing.
Well, little less laughing too.
Well, laughing is good.
Wow, that's like my whole life just told to stop.
The reason I say that is because when, like, this is for everybody. If you're agreeing with things people are saying and we need to cut it, it can
Thank you.
enable with
That's
that.
true. Yeah, that's good.
So just
Yeah.
I
Okay.
understand.
You
That was
just
a good-
took
that was a
all
good
the
job.
naturalness out of
Yeah.
it.
All I've done is my whole life.
Wait, are you leaving? Are you leaving?
Not yet.
All
Okay.
I've been trained to do is active listening.
All right.
And if you could refrain
All right.
from touching the mic stand,
We are starting really now?
it's extremely distracting.
3.
Are we
Very
doing
loud.
episode 3?
No.
Are we saying that?
The domestic.
Yep. Gotcha.
I don't think you have to say episode 3.
Ken,
Okay.
for the
I just thought
love.
that was fun. It shows we're on top of
Well,
stuff.
then this is
See what I did
episode-
today too, so I could change clothes.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I think this is
You told
actually...
me to.
Well, I did, and I didn't do
I
it.
think technically this is episode
3.
5.
6.
Oh, because of when it happens.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's episode 6.
Okay, we're ready to go.
I just don't
Ken,
think we can
stop
keep it up.
touching the
Yeah,
base
it's
of your
fine.
microphone.
Episode
It's really loud.
177.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's time to cut
Wow,
that part.
it was
By,
some rough road.
episode 2.
Yeah.
We did it first. Yo, I'm not. Can we pray?
Can we not laugh?
Like, no, everything I'm about has been squelched.
No uh-huhs.
Don't active listen.
No joy.
Just be quiet. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everybody. We are excited to have you back for this episode of the Defender Podcast. Today's special guest is Christy McSegers, the Vice President of Domestic Services. We are excited to learn more about you, your story, what brought you to Lifeline, and the ministry that you carry with us in this special place. Just to set the table, just to manage expectations here, whether you're driving down the road or at the gym right now or huddled around a fireplace, excited to hear what we're all about. This episode is just a broad overview of domestic adoption at Lifeline. Many ways for you to get engaged. Christy Mack's going to introduce you to those ways, maybe your small group, your church, or even if you're praying right now, how domestic adoption can be a ministry of yours. We're excited to have Christy Mack share her story. Christy Mack, love you as a friend, thankful for the journey we've had together in that space. Tell us more about yourself and what makes your role here at Lifeline so special.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. So, my husband and I have 3 daughters. I have been with Lifeline for 13 years, and the Lord really called me to Lifeline, or really to the social work career, just out of a heart for adoption, out of a heart for the vulnerable. But it was really even before the Lord had redeemed me. And then the Lord redeemed me in my adulthood and really called me to Lifeline through the Spirit leading me and saying, hey, you're doing some great work, but you're pointing people to themselves and not to Jesus. And so through the Lord's good sovereign hand, he brought me to Lifeline, to a place where we can serve the vulnerable. We can serve vulnerable women specifically, of which I feel I was before I was redeemed, and point them to Jesus.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's my heart for being here.
Well, Christy Mack, I remember being a part of that journey. And what most people wouldn't know is that journey actually started 15 years ago when we first started talking. You and I met when I first started 23 years ago when we were doing adoption groups in Alabama and conferences. But the thing that you just said that is so big that drew you into Lifeline was the care for the mom. And I know that even today when we post things on social media, a lot of times people think that adoption is anti-woman or is taking something away from a woman. But can you just maybe talk about the story of that placing mom? What's her story? And how does Lifeline really care for her through this journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up, Herbie, because It is. The naysayers say adoption is not caring for moms. What I love about what we do here is that the heart and really even the roots of Lifeline, we were founded specifically for her. And really out of a desire to not pressure her into parenting if she did not feel equipped to parent. It's what a lot of the pro-choice folks will say is that we, as pro-lifers, are forcing women to parent who are not equipped to parent, forcing children into difficult situations when a mom is not equipped to parent. And I believe the complete opposite, that is, that we are actually giving women choice and we are empowering them with life choices in a way that does not pressure them, but in a way that truly helps them weigh pros and cons, helps them think through what's best for them and their child. Sometimes that's parenting and sometimes that's adoption. And I love that in the way that we do our options counseling and care for women, that it is completely pressure-free and non-coercive in how we do that.
And you and I end up being in so many pro-life spaces. And I think even since the Dobbs decision in 2022, I think you would agree with me, before that, it almost felt like the pro-life organizations didn't know what to do with adoption because it was almost seen as, well, mom ends up childless, but she has to go 9.5 months carrying this child. But yet, it's an old adage that we've said before about adoption. It's an option where both mom and child can survive and thrive. You know, what is the way that we see adoption really fitting into that pro-life ministry, and how can, as pro-life people, we reclaim the moniker of we're pro-woman and pro-child?
Yes. I would say a little bit about what I was saying before, which is it's empowerment. And I think so often we have seen pro-lifers even really push towards parenting, and we've seen pro-choicers really push towards abortion, and not really giving any choice in that. And so I think we're being pro-woman when we are giving her multiple life options to choose from. For what is so interesting to me is so many of the reasons that women choose abortion are actually reasons, if you look at it, where she's actually really considering the child, in that she doesn't want the child to grow up in a home where maybe there's domestic violence or there's poverty or those kinds of things. And so it's kind of those blinders on her eyes, right? It's kind of this twisted understanding. And so when we can help her see that is something that she's actually caring about the child and desiring that, and then give her an option that actually still gives the child life, but does not pressure her into something where the child is going to go into a difficult situation or is going to make her even more vulnerable.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Nora, if it's okay, as I think about that, and not to segue from the mom to the parent, but I do think adoption is also at the heart of the way we recruit families, is in thinking for these moms, and we want missional families in this process. Always.
I think, too, it would be helpful to understand what those services for that mom look like. I mean, can you elaborate on that a little bit? It's the gospel at its core, but it requires services. What are some of those?
And I think just adding to that, too, Christy, how are adoptive families also able to provide some of those services?
Absolutely, yeah. So the services to the mom are really providing what we call options counseling, helping her think through those options. And then if she is choosing parenting, then we want to get her to do that successfully by connecting her to resources. If she chooses adoption, then she's really in the driver's seat of that. And so we're helping her make an adoption plan, helping her think through what she desires in a family, helping her think through what she desires in openness. And that means helping her get connected to gospel-centered families. And so we really believe that we are caring for moms well when we are providing really well-equipped and vetted gospel-centered families for that mom to choose from. And so oftentimes the families, or all the times, that the families that are coming to us are called not only to adoption, but they're really called to a ministry to the woman and to the child. Sometimes that is from a distance, in just the way that they're caring for their child and talking positively about the birth mom. Sometimes that's much more up close and personal in an open relationship. And what I love about the families that we have at Lifeline, and those really called to this, is they truly do see it as a ministry. They understand that their ministry to that mom begins well before a placement and does not end at placement. And so we have so many stories of where families have ministered to women, poured into them, and their heart for that mom is for her to make a good choice. That mom may choose parenting, and so they end up not having a child placed in their arms, but they still love her, care for her, and support her even in the parenting journey. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think let's segue as we kind of wrap our time up. We also do, though, help families bring children into their home and to bring permanents in their home. We're finding families for children in this process. And, a lot of times families do come and they want the blessing and the gift of a child.
Absolutely.
Maybe they're called to that ministry part of it, or maybe they're even struggling through some infertility. Talk about what the journey looks like for the adoptive family and some of those services that we offer for them.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we believe that our ministry to women starts by really serving and having well-supported and equipped families. And so we help families through a home study process. That home study process is certainly us assessing them, but really it's equipping. It's getting them ready for the journey of adoption. And so we provide extensive education through a learning management system, as well as a conference here where they get to hear from a birth mom. They get to talk to other adoptive families. They get to hear from the best of the best to really be equipped to care for a child through adoption. And then we provide lifelong support to those families. We really believe in being kind of a discipleship and hand-holding ministry. And so we provide a team that wraps around that adoptive family to, again, help them be equipped, but then also even after that placement to help them navigate what that open adoption looks like.
Yeah. Ford, I just think we've kind of, we're already on our 5th episode, but we've kind of established you as the Gen Z expert, right?
Me.
So as the Gen Z expert, one of the things that I think about is your generation, right or wrong, is being labeled as one that is waiting for marriage and waiting to become parents or start families.
Yeah.
And yet there's such importance in having families. What would your message be? You're a 23-year-old guy that is married. You've been married for a year. Talk about the gift of marriage, why it's important for your generation to get married early and to start families and to pour into, and how that kind of coalesces with
really
also
good.
being open to domestic adoption.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm pretty passionate about this as well, as a guy who has gotten married pretty young. I think we just have to remind ourselves and test what the culture around us tells us versus what Scripture tells us. The culture around us tells us that, hey, you need to make sure your finances are good, everything else in your life is all set up, and then maybe you can start thinking about marriage. But Genesis tells us that God has made man and woman to be together, to be companions. He has set up marriage as a gift, as something that is meant for human flourishing. It's meant for the sanctification of men and women. So marriage is a good thing. It's hard, right? It's just like anything that is hard, but it is good, and it is fun, and it's the best. So I would just encourage, people who are my age, Gen Z, marriage is a good thing, and I think the same goes with children, right? Again, people are not only waiting to get married, but they're waiting to have kids, and once again, we have to test it with the Scriptures. The Scriptures say that children are a blessing. All throughout the Old Testament, even the New Testament, like having children is a gift and a blessing. I don't have kids yet. I hope to one day soon, Lord willing, and I'm excited for that because I know that's just how the Lord has set up the world. So with that comes, right, the option of domestic adoption, and I know that at Lifeline we talk about adoption is not a plan B. It's not it's a lesser than second best option, and that's one of the things that I've really been encouraged as I've been at Lifeline and learned. Like, this is a great primary option, and so it's something that I would just encourage anyone who's married, even if you're not married, begin praying about if the Lord might be leading you to that, because it's a really beautiful option to, again, minister to both birth mothers and children. And I mean, it's at the heart of our ministry. Adoption is such a beautiful picture of the gospel. So that's what I would say to the Gen Zers out there.
I love today's episode. I love the fact that we've covered not only the history, why this is so important, but I'm just curious as we close, we've got listeners out there about to embark on summer plans. What's a great way for them to look at practical ways to engage in this process, Christy Mack?
Yeah, I would say if you feel called at all to adoption, reach out. We want to be able to answer all of your questions. We want to help you really decipher what the Lord is calling you to. So please reach out, fill out an interest form. We would love to chat. But then also, if you have or interact with moms who are in unexpected pregnancies and just need some options counseling, please refer them to us. We would love to chat with them. And then we have lots of resources for churches and for pregnancy centers and anybody out there that would like more training on just how to even bring up the option of adoption to women.
Wow.
So,
And where can we find all that?
For the interest form for adoption is on our website, lifelinechild.org. And then we have a website specifically for moms where they can get more information, and that's called optionsanadoption.com.
Awesome.
Christy Mack, you've been a gift to be with us. Thank
Yes.
you for your friendship,
Thank you,
your
C-Mac.
leadership. So much to
Thank you all.
celebrate. Thank you for today.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
You too.